Hello everybody, good afternoon. We're coming to you live from inside the Canadian International School right here in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam as we bring you this coverage of the ASEAN Basketball League Season number 9, Rise to Greatness, Saigon Heat versus the Singapore Slingers today, fourth and final matchup of the elimination round between these two teams. Of course, the first three were taken by the Singapore Slingers. You guys are joined by Martin Javier, working alongside Coach Kevin Mirkas for this game. Good to have you back here in the coverage, Coach Kevin.
Welcome back to Ho Chi Minh City, my friend.
Good to be back.
It's been a while.
And it's sunny. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Ho Chi Minh City, and we have a great class here up next for us. But first, we take a quick scan here of our team standings.
Yeah, you know, we look at the ABL standings, and it's very bunched up between 3 and 7.
Yeah.
You know, these last couple of games for both teams are jockeying for playoff position. The Slingers can get anywhere from 3 to 5. The Saigon Heat can finish anywhere from 5 to 7. So these games, even though they're the last couple games of the season and their preparation for the playoffs, there's still a lot at stake for both teams.
Second to the last game for the Saigon Heat, third to the last game for the Singapore Slingers. And we take a look at the previous game. First, from the side of the Singapore Slingers, winning against the Westport's Malaysian Dragons on the road emphatically, and winning also the season series against the Dragons.
Yeah, you know, Slingers have had a really good season. Unfortunately, they've done well against the Dragons, but you know, they know how to beat teams, and they've done so all year, and they took care of business in their last game.
On the other side, Saigon Heat losing their third straight game. All have been close games, Coach Kevin. And last time they played, they lost by 1 point against the home team of that game, the CLS Knights.
Yeah, very entertaining game. Saigon had the game late, in control late, but you know, we all know how the CLS Knights play at home. They did a great job of making a valiant comeback and really stole a victory late in the final minutes on an incredible shot by Doug Herring.
That's an early good matchup here. Xavier Alexander versus Angelo Hamilton.
Singapore Slinger. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to the visiting team. Singapore Slinger. Number 1, Lim Chun Yun. Number 2, OWJ Desmond. Number 5, Belly Fields the third. Number 6, Tay Din Lun. Number 11, Liu Hua Sen Larry. Number 12, Jaron Young. Number 15, Xavier Alexander. Number 17, Nguyen Han Bin. Number 22, Lim Hong Da Kevin. Number 23, Go Kok Chan Devin. Number 55, Rajay V. Lavin. Head coach of Singapore Slinger, Mr. Neo Pan Xiang. Assistant coach, Mr. Michael Johnson. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our Warriors of Saigon Heat. Number 34, Team Well. Number 2, Henry Will. Number 24, Wing Tuấn Tú Stephen. Number 22, Corey Celia. Number 12, Justin Young. Number 8, Mr. Wingo Trần Đắc Hoa. Number 20, Chris Tucker. Number 17, D'Angelo Hamilton. Number 33, Kyle Maran. Number 1, Trevor Hughes. Head coach of Saigon Heat, Mr. Kyle Julius. Assistant coach, Mr. David Singleton. Xin được trân trọng giới thiệu giám sát viên và tổ trưởng tại trận đấu ngày hôm nay. Commissioner referees for this game are Mr. Lê Việt Đức, Mr. Johan Christiana, Mr. Peter Divakar, and Mr. Cecilin Michael Vino. Và bây giờ xin mời tất cả mọi người chúng ta hãy cùng đứng lên để làm lễ chào cờ. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand up for the national anthem. Và những vị khách nào vẫn còn di chuyển xin mời đứng lại tại chỗ ạ. Quốc ca.
Back to our coverage here, Saigon Heat versus the Singapore Slingers for this afternoon's matchup here at the CIS Arena in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam. Great matchup here at the middle position. Coach Kevin Calderon, John Fields, both double-double machines here in the ABL.
Yeah, this is a key matchup, and especially the matchup against John Fields. He has been killing teams on the offensive glass this season, and that's a key to this game, is keeping Fields off the glass. Barone can't roam. He's got to stay connected to him. I look for this to be a very key matchup.
Calderon, number 33, averaging a double-double this season, the masked man for the Saigon Heat. And yeah, this is a big task in guarding John Fields, one of the top big men here in the league. But I also like how D'Angelo Hamilton had a breakout game in terms of scoring in their previous contest. And speaking of breakout scoring games, Guatan had 17 points and across-the-board production for him. Did a lot of things for the Saigon Heat in that road game against CLS Knights.
Boy, Guatan is really improving game after game, and you can see Coach Julius and his teammates are showing a lot of confidence in Guatan. He's handling the ball more, he's running the point, he's making plays, and he's playing with a lot of confidence.
Larry Liu versus the Westport's Malaysian Dragons, usually the defensive specialist for the Singapore Slingers. Dropped in 12 points, all coming from the three-point range, but I don't think he's going to be here, and he's going to be playing for the Singapore Slingers today. Did not travel, I think, with the team, so that's a minus, obviously, for Coach Neo Beng Shang, but more opportunities for the other players of the Singapore Slingers.
Yeah, make no mistake about this game, that these two teams, they've been battling all year. I know the Slingers have won all 3 games, but these games have been close.
Yeah.
The last 2 games in Singapore, the Heat have gotten down early, but they've fought back hard to make it a game. And I expect the Heat will play a lot better today. Now, they've lost 3 tough ones in a row. They really want this game. They want to get some momentum going into the playoffs. So I expect this to be a very hard-fought, playoff-like atmosphere.
Singapore needs that kind of production more consistently from Jaron Young, 23 points against the Westport's Malaysian Dragons. That is the head coach of Saigon Heat, former NBL champion in Canada, Coach Kyle Julius, in his 2nd season with the Heat. And interesting matchup here. Singapore Slingers, of course, 14-9 at the middle of the pack there in our team standings. And we take a quick scan of the usual starters here for Coach Neo.
Yeah, I think a key matchup here, we look at the main matchups of Hamilton versus Alexander and Fields versus Barone, but it's going to be Desmond against Quatron. The way Quatron's played against the defensive presence of Desmond, I look for that to be a very critical matchup in this game.
The veteran versus a quote-unquote rookie here in the ABL. And on the other side, the Saigon Heat, Trayvon Hughes, D'Angelo Hamilton, and Calderon leading the pack. And again, they want to snap that 3-game losing skid. And yet they want to get back on the winning track, at least before we enter the playoffs here in season number 9.
Yeah, and Chris Durker back into the starting lineup for the Saigon Heat. I think that's a good move by Coach Julius. Durker's had some monster games, especially in the middle part of the season, and a change-up to get him going early is something that Coach Julius is looking for out of Durker.
And it's a change because Justin Young has been starting for the Saigon Heat in the previous games. But change was about to, was bound to happen rather for the Saigon Heat with a 3-game slide for them. see here Coach Nia on your screens again. 23rd game, 24th game of the season for the Singapore Slingers, 25th game for the Saigon Heat, 14-9 record for Singapore, and 12-12 for the home squad, the Saigon Heat. Saigon is 8-3 here at the CIS Arena, 4-9 on the road. So this is going to be a big test for them. The last two opponents, the Singapore Slingers, and next week it's going to be the defending champion, San Miguel, Alab, Pilipinas.
Yeah, speaking of San Miguel, Alab, Pilipinas, they've got a big game tonight.
Yeah.
They'll host the Formosa Dreamers, which could be for the regular season championship. It will likely be for the regular season championship. Not sure if Ronaldo Balkman will play, but that's one that many of the ABL fans will be watching.
And Formosa Dreamers, just to inform our viewers here, only trailing Alab by a half game for that #1 spot. So a lot of shakeup after today's game day here in the ABL. But let's go first to our matchup here between the Saigon Heat and the Singapore Slingers. A jam-packed arena here at the Canadian International School, and Calderon, John Fields jumping it up here at midcourt.
Yeah, I look for Saigon Heat to try to get going early. In all 3 games against the Slingers, they've gotten down big early and have had to fight back. So let's see if they can jump out to a lead in this one.
Their previous game against each other was a 6-point win by the Singapore Slingers, and right away that's a high-low play. John Fields able to take advantage.
Yeah, you can't let Fields get that deep. You know, he's going to eat in the paint there if he gets down that low. So they're going to have to try to push him out of the post box and make him shoot longer shots.
Oh, good spin. Short stop will not work for Hamilton. But Barone gets it. Paco gets denied by Go. Delvin with a good rejection. Singapore gets it back.
Solid play there by Go. Barone just got pinned under the basket a little bit too much, and Go made an excellent play and blocked the shot.
Here comes Alexander. Last time, the last 3 meetings they've had, they've been challenging Alexander to shoot that 3-point shot. And this is going to be a turnover for John Fields. So ball will go back to the black and gold Saigon Heat. At least for this afternoon, they're boasting the new threads. These new jerseys are nice, Coach Kevin, as we take a look at the turnover committed by Fields.
You know I love those colors there, partner, those, the black and gold. But watching here, Claude Trong, we saw this in the last few games more and more. He's handling the point duties. We see him doing it here.
Oh, that's a basket. The foul and the finish for D'Angelo Hamilton to open the scoring for the Heat.
D'Angelo Hamilton is a real tough matchup inside. He's a versatile player. He likes to play inside and out. But if they're going to put Jerron Young or Xavier Alexander on him, you got to go down low to the big fella. He's 255 pounds. Yeah. He's got a 7'1" wingspan. It's just too easy of a mismatch for the Heat.
That's an instant mismatch here for Coach Cal Julius. D'Angelo Hamilton does not disappoint at the free throw line, completing the 3-point play. 3-2 lead for the Heat in the early goings of this one. Delvin goes to Xavier, who fires from the right wing and drops that one in.
You can see the strategy already. They're telling Hamilton, play off Alexander, make him shoot the outside shot. Like in the last time here, Alexander says, okay, I'll take it. I'll show you what I got. And he knocks down his first shot.
Here's Hamilton on the catch. He's backing down against the X-Man. Here's the kick out. Turker goes to Quatron for the open look. Quatron knocks it down.
That's excellent inside-out movement. Hamilton patient in the post, gets to the middle, senses the double team, and Turker does a good job of regaining the possession and hits him on for the wide open 3.
So a long bomb for the Saigon Heat. Alexander on the left corner goes to on top to Desmono, who attacks and gets fouled there by, I believe, Calderon. And good attack there from the veteran, longtime slinger.
And he still looks like a rookie, doesn't he? The ageless wonder of Desmono. It was great to see him the other day going up against his good friend, Long Way Long. Well, ABL is those two who played together, and I wonder if they talk about who gets the best of each other after.
I bet you they do. That was one of the highly anticipated matchups, the return of Wong Wei Long to the OCBC arena. Sure. Against the Singapore Slingers.
Yeah, and it had to be emotional for Wong to come back and play against the team that he was the face of for a long time. But nevertheless, hits those 2 free throws, and it's back to a 7-6 ball game.
7:46 remaining here in the first quarter. Here's the kick out. Turker, we're far away. Turker drops it in.
Yeah, we've seen that from Durker. He's hit a lot of threes in recent games. He's shooting with confidence. They're putting John Fields on him, and they're going to have to put Durker on the perimeter to extend Fields and keep him away from the basket.
And that's the beauty of having Chris Durker in the starting unit for the Saigon Heat. Adds a lot of range in this unit. But John Fields just relentlessly attacking here. Scores on the short staff.
They can't let Fields get the ball that low. He's too dangerous when he gets the ball inside the restricted area.
Oh, Durker anticipating that perfectly. Trayvon fires. No go. Perron skies high for the rebound. Perron puts it back in.
Saigon Heat, and with this lineup here, they can really hurt you with second chance points.
They force Jaron Young. A difficult basket on the other end. Here comes the Saigon Heat. Oh, good draw pass, but that was deflected out. And they're saying it's going to be Singapore basketball.
Yeah, that was definitely off the Slingers. That should have been Saigon Heat basketball. But here's one of the keys that we talked about here, you and I, off the air, is getting back in transition. You've got to keep Fields off the glass, and you got to stop the transition of the Singapore Slingers. They don't run a lot of complex sets,
right,
but they get a lot of easy buckets in transition.
And that's the biggest transformation this year for the Singapore Slingers, transforming into a transition team. Coach Kevin.
Yeah, in the past, you know, they've won a lot of games in the 60s, but you know, this year they're running and they're using their athleticism.
Perron firing. That's a long bomb for Perron, does not work. The X-Man gets it back for Singapore. Here is Delvin, stops bumps, gets blocked from behind, but they called the foul on Trayvon Hughes.
Yeah, that's a tough call. You know, and I don't want to be talking about the officiating tonight, but it's clear early that the officials are going to call this tight. They know the battles between these two teams this season, that you know, they're very physical and they go at each other, so they may call it a little bit tight.
And this is Delvin Dong at the free throw line, a promising young big man for the Singapore Slingers, a staple of the national team. We've seen his progression throughout the years here in the ABL. Has added a lot of tools, especially in his offensive game.
And we saw his defensive tools a couple possessions ago when he blocked the shot of Perron. That's not something that we saw out of Go in the past.
And Go goes 2 out of 2 on that trip, 11 all. Oh, Durker left wide open again, but he chooses to attack. The slash by Durker, fouled by John Fields.
And that's something that Fields has had a problem with this year. He's dominated the paint. He's been the one active big who's done a great job around the rim, but he's been in foul trouble a lot of games. Yeah. That's one he's got to let go with, 6 minutes in the first quarter. He's got to save those fouls for late in the game.
And that's a price you pay for being a bit too aggressive all throughout the game as D'Angelo Hamilton forces his way for that basket. Desmond with a catch. Desmond off the spin. Oh, good fake. The up and under move for Desmond.
Yeah, veteran move against the rookie there. Desmond says, I've got you.
But Saigon quickly the other way. D'Angelo scores again. Wow.
Here's the Slingers coming back looking for early offense.
Hamilton with 7 points here in the opening quarter. Fields puts it on the floor. Denied by Hamilton. One more time for Fields. Does not work. A couple of great defensive sequences for D'Angelo Hamilton, but Kyle Barone throws the ball away.
Yeah, Kyle Barone made the cardinal sin of leaving your feet at half court against pressure. Where you had 2 guys open on the right, and that's an unforced error for the Saigon Heat. But outstanding block by Hamilton. He's known as the block machine here in Vietnam, and you can see why. John Fields is a tough player to block, but Hamilton caught him at the apex there.
Interesting move here for Coach Cal Julius. Justin Young checked in for D'Angelo Hamilton. That's probably why he gets the steal there, the deflection. Heat in transition. Young gets fouled by Jaron Young of the Singapore Slingers.
One Young versus another there, right? I don't think they're related, but.
I don't think so. I don't think so. That's Jaron fouling Justin on the break. Let's see the play here. Quatran getting fancy at midcourt. Here's the extra pass by Hughes and the bump. Be called here against Jaron Young. Got a timeout here. Early lead for the Saigon Heat. Halfway point here in the first quarter, and the Saigon Heat, they have the lead here at 15-13. Now I was talking about the interesting move earlier by Coach Cal Julius to replace D'Angelo Hamilton with Justin Young after getting 7 points in the opening minutes.
Well, it's just a rotation thing. Hamilton is a high-energy player, and sometimes players that play at that level, they go through highs and lows in terms of their stamina and their energy. And we've seen this with Coach Julius all throughout these last few games since Hamilton's been inserted into the lineup. He's been taking him out early in the first quarter to kind of tame that early energy and enthusiasm so he doesn't burn out late in the game. So this is just a rotation.
And here we go, action continues. Trayvon with the takeaway for the Saigon Heat. Another crack at the basket for them. Justin Young. Oh, denied by Fields.
And one thing we should point out is Jaron Young picked up his second foul there, and the guy Larry Liu is in the game.
Oh, so he's here. He traveled with a team.
He made 4 3-pointers last game. He earns the right to travel.
So he's going to be key here for Singapore, especially defensively. There is Trayvon Hughes. Penetrating, scoring with the left hand.
Good recognition by Hughes. You know, he's got the quickness advantage on Alexander, and he did a good job of getting the move to the side and getting the glass.
17-13 lead for Saigon. How will Singapore respond? Delvin Go goes to the X-Man here. He's been quiet here in the first quarter, talking about Alexander. And he slides there. He falls down. And this is jump ball situation.
Yeah, that's more of a travel, really. He slipped and fell to take another dribble, but you know, the referee looking at player safety decides to call a jump ball. But you and I, again, another thing we talked about off the air is the defense of Justin Young. You saw him there. Justin Young is an underrated defender. I've seen this at many levels from Justin Young. He can really move his feet on the perimeter, and he's strong enough not to get bullied by imports.
That's a key piece if you're a team here in the ABL. You have a guy like that has size, has the heft, has the mobility to get in front of the key world imports that we have.
Absolutely.
Here's Justin, puts it on the floor, runs into a double team, high off the glass, no go. And Alexander retrieves it.
Justin Young is aggressive here early in the first quarter, and I like to see it. You know, he's capable of making plays a lot of different ways.
And let's see, that's a foul on Justin Young. Away from the ball as he was trying to stop Xavier Alexander. So Singapore will have it with 18 seconds on their clock.
And Justin Young, these last few games, he's been in foul trouble, but he's been picking up a lot of ticky-tack, questionable type fouls. But he's giving all he can against Xavier Alexander. He's not going to back down from him.
Desmond goes to Delvin. Go against Turker. They go to Fields again, who has possession. Fields doesn't make it. Here's Quatran starting the break here for Saigon. Quatran couldn't get the difficult shot to go in. Calderon gets fouled on his way up.
Saigon Heat's doing something different here, and I like the adjustment that Coach Julius made. They've gotten down big early in all 3 games against Singapore. They're not playing a possession game right now. They're really pushing tempo, and they're trying to beat the Slingers at their own game. Get rebounds, get the ball quickly, use your athleticism and your length to get buckets at the glass, and I like that strategy for Coach Julius.
And they're adding more size here on the floor. They're inserting, or he's inserting D'Angelo Hamilton, replacing Quatran. So this is a tall lineup for the Saigon Heat.
That very big lineup here. Let's see if Coach Neo counters by going to his zone. Justin Young and Chris Durker aren't known to be shooters. Yeah. Although we've seen Durker, shoot the ball well. He's got a three-pointer today, but Coach Neo brings in Han Bin here, who is to counter that size.
Calderon on the second drive gives the Heat the 6-point lead. And under 3 minutes remaining in our opening quarter. Singapore Slingers on the attack here. Survey. Finding the X-Men, anticipated by Trayvon. Hughes on the move. Oh, good bother there by Alexander.
That was a sensational play by Alexander. I mean, Hughes had him right where he wanted him. Got him at the rim last time, and Alexander made a great adjustment there of making it a tough shot. They get the turnover.
So Slingers will have another crack at it. This is Alexander now. He's got Barone on the switch. The X-Man here gets it to Delvin. Great matchup here in the local department. Delvin Go versus Chris Durker. Quick spin by Delvin, kicking it out. Alexander, great defense by the Saigon Heat. And butterfingers there for Delvin Go as he loses possession.
Yeah, excellent play by Alexander. He saw the shot clock running down. He didn't panic, and he hit Go with a pass. It would have been an easy layup. Would have been close to a shot clock violation, but nevertheless, the Heat forced the turnovers.
That was steady defense all throughout the shot clock for the Saigon Heat. Trayvon Hughes, that was a bit too strong. He backrims that one. The ball flies out to him. Durker runs into a double. Barone for three. Barone knocks it down.
You got a guy 6'10" that can knock down threes and rebound the way he does. He could be a very dangerous weapon if that shot's going down.
This is now a 9-point lead built by the Heat. John Fields working hard and putting it back in.
And that's what John Fields does. He's just the master of second chance putbacks. And that's a big bucket that the Slingers needed, down 9 here early in the first quarter.
That briefly breaks the run of Saigon. Here is Durker.
There's that zone I talked about, partner.
Yeah, using the zone here. Hughes on the hesitation, the kick out, corner shot, too strong for Young. Approaching a minute left in the first frame. Larry Liu with a catch. Goes right away to Alexander. John Fields carving space. Fields forcing that one up. Not a good shot there by Fields.
Barone did an excellent job of walling up.
Hughes! Oh, the crossover on Liu. Well, couldn't get a clear look on the pass, but ball will remain with the Heat. Quatran checks into the game, and he will replace Justin Young. Desmond O on the other side entering for Delvin Go.
I'd like to see the chess match here between coaches. Coach Neo goes to a zone, so Coach Kyle brings Quatron back in, and then Coach Neo counters by bringing Desmond O back in.
And here's D'Angelo Hamilton, 9th point of the first quarter.
All points in the paint for Hamilton. Hamilton likes to consider himself a stretch 3, but sometimes he doesn't realize that he can really score in the paint. Yeah. And he's proven that in these last few games playing for the Saigon Heat.
Coming off that 27-point outing against the CLS Knights. Desmond O, the kick out, Ang Han Bin, 4-3, it's off to the side. Durker, 9 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Quatron, down the middle he goes, count the basket, plus the foul for Quatron.
And the Saigon Heat have turned the tables against the Singapore Slingers. In previous games, they found themselves down early with double-digit deficits, but here we are in the first quarter with 5.4 to go and an 11-point lead, with Quatron a chance to cut it to extend it to 12.
Quatron at the free throw line. One of the top local players of this Saigon Heat team, Mr. Wiggle, drops in the free throw and completes the three-point play. Lead is up to 12. 5 seconds remaining. Alexander has enough time to get a shot up. It's a clear look. The banker will not go in. As time will expire here. And our opening friend, the Saigon Heat, the home team, grabbing the 12-point advantage after our first 10 minutes of play. Our score right now, 27-15. Your ABL 9 will be right back for second quarter of this game. slide back into the action here inside CIS Arena, continuing our coverage of the ASEAN Basketball League season number 9. It is a 12-point lead. The Saigon Heat going into the second frame. You guys got Martin Avieri, coach Kevin Yurkus breaking this game down. And how did Saigon do it in the first quarter? How are they able to get this comfortable cushion against the Singapore Slingers, coach?
Well, you know, they're playing their game and they're attacking with their defense. They're forcing tough shots on the Slingers, but unlike in past games, they're getting it and they're going.
Yeah.
They're beating the Slingers at their own game. We talked about the Singapore Slingers like to get easy transition buckets. They like to push the pace. Saigon Heat's giving them a little bit of their own medicine, and it's worked for them here early on.
And so far for the Singapore Slingers, only 2 fast break points and no points of turnovers. That's been a major thing here in the offense of the Singapore Slingers. John Fields at the line. That doesn't help the cause here of Singapore. He misses the first.
John Fields from the University of Tennessee, good friend of the NBA star Tobias Harris. They were college teammates. And he credits Tobias Harris with a big part of his development as a professional player.
Tobias Harris, of course, now plays with the Philadelphia 76ers. John Fields, one of the most hard-working big men here we have in the league. Javon Hughes decides to go to the corner. Quatran rims out Turker with the offensive rebound. The putback will not work, and Fields gets it back for Singapore.
Yeah, but I like that possession. They got a good look by Tron, and then Turker got a good second chance opportunity. Sometimes they're going to go, and sometimes they're not.
Lead is 11. Fields, a dangerous entry pass there. That was picked off by Saigon. Quatran, challenged by Liu. He stops, pops, doesn't drop. Fields with a board.
Again, I like what Quatran's doing. He's got the green light, and this is how he's played his whole career since I've watched him. He plays loose and free, takes shots, gets into a rhythm, and you know, Coach Julius is giving him the keys to an extent.
Right. So Charon Young back on the floor for Singapore after committing 2 personal fouls in the first quarter. Airball's got one. Ball will go the other way.
That's a good mismatch, or a good matchup here with Fields versus Hamilton. The size of Fields now. Barona's the same height as Fields, so they can match up height-wise, but Hamilton is much stronger. Fields isn't going to push him around in the defensive end.
Both Young and Turker on the floor for Saigon. Hamilton missing on the triple try. Young on the move. Again, this is good defense being played by the Saigon Heat. Good recovery right away. Alexander, Desmond surveys back outside. Xavier fakes, takes it in. Alexander hangs for a bit, gets the foul on Justin Young.
We'll have to look at the replay on that. Justin Young was in good position. Appeared to be outside of the restricted area, but maybe he was moving. We didn't have a great angle at it as we look at the replay. He caught him to the side. That's a good call by the official.
It is still 11. Alexander will be at the free throw line after this timeout. About 2 minutes eclipsing here in the second frame. It is still an 11-point lead for Saigon Heat, 27-16. And Xavier Alexander, the X-Man, will be at the free throw line for them. Has been the converted point guard of Coach Neo Bengshang this season and has excelled in that position ever since the start.
Yeah, he's gone from inside player to wing player to now point forward. And that was a good time out there by Kyle Julius. You saw his team coming out in the second quarter, get a couple of early fouls, a little sluggish offensively. I thought it was a great timeout.
So Saigon here, let's see how they will respond as the X-Man misses both free throws. Heat maintaining the 11-point advantage. Hughes surveys, back out to Baron, quick trigger. Back short, Desmond catches the rebound. Here's Young, one-on-one against Baron, and Young finishes.
Yeah, that's the problem. You know, the Slingers are in that zone, and when your big guy, your center, takes that shot, you can get a leak out by an athletic quick guy like Jerron Young.
The transition offense there for Saigon. Oh, Hamilton doesn't get the bounce. Missing that open look from close range. Alexander here, the pull-up jumper. A bit too strong. Durker securing the rebound.
Saigon Heat's got numbers, so they can push it up.
Trayvon looking for Hamilton here, who has position at the post. That's on Young. Number 3 on Jaron Young here in the first half.
That's outstanding recognition by Hughes and Hamilton. They know that Young's got 2 fouls. Hamilton can be physical with him. They're arm wrestling in the post. We make it a 50-50 call. We put it in the referee's hands, and Young gets his third, and that's a big call here early in the game.
So Young will be replaced here by Delphin Go. A big loss there for the Saigon Heat as they are, because they are trying to come back here in the second frame. Anti-move doesn't work for Hamilton. Ball top to Alexander.
Yeah, I'd like to see Hamilton hammer that down and not double pump it. Use that 7-1 wingspan and throw it down. It's a nice play by Durker to get Hamilton on a wide open cut.
Desmond against Trayvon. They go to Fields here. Mini high-low there to Delvin, go inside. Could not convert, couldn't get the ball back. Durker rips it out. Here comes Trayvon Hughes.
One thing I like that the Slingers do is they do a good job of looking at mismatches for their locals. They saw that Go had a mismatch. They went to him. He got a good look, just couldn't put it down.
Quatran for 3. That's a bit off to the right. Oh, Fields finding Desmond all along, but the chase down by Baron. But they're going to count it. They're calling it a goaltend on Baron.
That's a 50-50 call. You know, you can't. It's a tough call for the official to make. You know, there's the ball on the glass, and we have the benefit of replay, so we can make the call here with 20/20 vision. But yeah, that's a goaltend. The ball was on the glass.
Good call by our officials. So it's 27-20. Quatran finding Baron. Oh, strip. Quatran back outside. Cal Baron to the corner. Good box out there by Liu, allowing Fields to get it back, but Hughes.
Good hustle there by both teams.
Fields diving for it. Xavier Alexander quickly the other way. Alexander while falling down. Wow.
Yeah, that should have been an 8-second call. They got the ball across, but 15 seconds on the shot clock, but I think the officials were looking at the scramble more than they were at the 8-second call.
Saigon Heat players were screaming for that call, but it was not given. Hamilton, baseline move, challenged by Fields.
And this zone by the Slingers has gotten them back into the game. And Saigon Heat scoreless here first nearly 5 minutes of the second quarter.
Delvin cuts the lead down to 3. And this is now a 9-0 run to begin the second quarter for the Singapore Slingers. Coach Kyle calls for time. to our coverage here inside the CIS Arena. Resuming action here in this game between the Saigon Heat and the Singapore Slingers. And it is a 9-0 blast here in the second quarter for the Singapore Slingers. Coach Kevin, how are they able to do it?
Well, if you switch to that zone, and despite the foul trouble from Jaron Young, that zone has created some cold shooting for the Saigon Heat. But, you know, both of these teams, Slingers and the Heat, they're tough. You know, they get down, you know, double digits. There's no quitting them. And they make plays. And they're scrappy. They get loose balls. They keep attacking. Sometimes the game gets ugly, but they find ways to make runs. That's a staple of both of these teams. We saw it early in the first quarter from the Saigon Heat. Now we're seeing it in the second quarter from the Slingers.
And the Slingers starting to play in a faster pace in the first 5 minutes of the second quarter. Let's see if Saigon can respond here off the timeout. Quatran bringing the ball down for them. Point guard chores for the Saigon Heat. He's on top here, looking for Durker. Chris, Trayvon at the left wing. Barone backing down. Kyle forcing it. That was too strong. Singapore with a chance to trim it down to one or tie with a three-pointer.
Yeah, I'd like to see Barone sweep across the restricted area there and get to a square-up position rather than shoot that kind of funny angle hook shot.
And Saigon Heat getting the steal there. Desmond throwing the ball away. Here is Trayvon Hughes. He's got the taller Delvin go on him. Turker on the catch. Foul here against the Singapore Slingers against Desmond. Guarding a much taller player in Chris Turker. Coricilia checks in for the first time. He will replace Justin Young.
Yeah, and it's a good move by Coach Julius. You know, his team's struggling to knock down shots. So he brings in the sniper, Coricilia, who's been also shooting the ball well lately, especially that corner three.
Yeah, the corner specialist, Coricilia, checking in. Trayvon Hughes here, serving the floor. They go again to Barone. Barone this time gets it through.
See the difference there, partner? Instead of Barone getting to kind of a funny angle, he gets the hook shot from the middle, so he's got the whole rim to work with. There's a much better recognition of his awareness.
This is another steal for the Saigon Heat. Back-to-back for them. Hughes. Quatran back to Trayvon, who fires. Ooh, that was a foul on the three-point attempt on Larry Liu.
You gotta let the player, gotta give him space to land. So that's the rule that changed a few years ago. Kawhi Leonard was hurt by Zaza Pachulia.
Yeah, that was a series between Golden State Warriors and the San Antonio Spurs.
And there have been a lot of rule changes worldwide since then. You've got to give the player space to land, and I think that was a good call by the official.
So Trayvon Hughes averaging 20 points this season. About 6 rebounds and 5 assists also for Trayvon this year. Missed a chunk off the season because of that injury, but it looks like he's fully recovered ever since that time.
You know, this team here, Saigon Heat, they started out 3-0. They were one of the hottest teams in the league.
Right.
And then the injury bug hit. Hughes had his hamstring injury, Justin Young's ankle injury, Barone broke his nose, Sang Din with the broken hand.
Yeah.
It's just been a myriad of injuries. It's hard to get consistency and flow over a 26-game season when you've got key players coming in and out. So I know they've had a tough couple of games here recently, but they can get these last 2 games and get some momentum going into the playoffs. This team is very capable of making some noise.
That's right. That also gave Coach Cal Julius the opportunity to experiment with different lineups, different looks on the floor, and they forced yet another turnover on the Singapore Slingers that time.
Well, the biggest benefactor of this has been Quatran. You know, he went from hardly playing early on to being one of the top local players here.
Being a staple of the starting lineup for the Saigon Heat. Before it was Sang Din who was starting for them, but Quatran made his way to the starters. Eventually, Coricilia missing that one from the left corner.
Great ball movement though by the Heat. That's the shot you want from the corner sniper. It's good offense. Sometimes good offense doesn't result in points.
Larry Liu on top here. They go to Jun Lim. Jun Lim got the step, got the hop, got the basket in the process.
Now, this game here, the Slingers are getting contributions from a lot of players. We saw a couple of good plays by Desmond on both ends of the floor. John Fields, of course, Xavier Alexander, and a nice play by Lim there.
Trayvon misfires. All air on that one. And the ball will stay with the Saigon Heat here with a 5-point lead, 31-26. And Turker replaced on the floor by D'Angelo Hamilton.
And we're seeing Coach Neo, who's normally a very quiet, mild-mannered guy, having a friendly or maybe not so friendly discussion with Trayvon Hughes. The Singapore Slingers didn't like that out-of-bounds call, and I think Hughes was protesting that he got run into again by one of the closeout defenders.
But ball will stay here, so Singapore will have 11 seconds to work with. This next possession, Barone. They go to Hamilton, back to Hughes. Oh, the blow by Hughes there. Could not make the triple though. Everything but the basket for Trayvon Hughes. Lost the defender on that jab step.
A lot of positives here. Only 4 points in the second quarter for Saigon Heat. Those aren't the positives, but they still have a 5-point lead. They've not given up defensively. They're still fighting to get stops to try to turn this around offensively.
Ju Lim stops on a dime. Back out to Ong Han Bin. 6 seconds to shoot for Singapore. They got Fields posting up against Barone. Left-handed hook is good.
That's a very solid drop step, baseline. Yeah, kind of a baby jump hook there, but a nice move by Fields to cut the lead to 3.
This is now a 13-4 quarter for the Singapore Slingers. Hamilton, they swing it around. Celia, back to Hughes. Hughes, the pass to Hamilton. Celia with the open look. That's from the right wing.
Excellent patience there all around. Hughes, Hamilton, Celia, Quantron, and they find Celia. What Celia does so nice is he catches the ball and he keeps it in the shooting pocket rather than dropping his hands, which would eliminate some of the time he has to shoot.
That's not his favorite spot, but he made it work. And Celia on the other end getting the steal. Perfect anticipation, but they couldn't hold on the leather.
Saigon Heat is doing a great job of weak side help. You know, it's no secret what the Slingers want to do. They feel like they've got a mismatch with Fields inside. They're looking inside every single possession.
80 seconds remaining. Trayvon Hughes with a steal. Here's the breakaway. Hughes on the halftime move. And the Saigon Heat again threatening to blow this game wide open. A minute run here in the second quarter. Trayvon Hughes getting the steal and the score. Timeout for the Singapore Slingers. 8-point lead for the Heat. Five unanswered points for the Saigon Heat, allowing them to restore this 8-point advantage at the 1 and 11-minute mark of the second quarter. Coach Kevin, good recovery here by the Heat.
Yeah, it's been a second quarter of grit and toughness.
Yeah.
A couple of the staples of the Saigon Heat. You know, they gave away that 12-point lead. The Slingers got it down to 3, but here the Heat find themselves in the closing minute of the half with an 8-point lead and a chance to possibly extend that.
And the key here has been their defense. They've been forcing a lot of turnovers on the Slingers in the second quarter. Alexander, difficult shot. Fields gets it back, but denied by Hamilton. But the putback was right there for the X-Man.
Again, though, you said it, partner. The defense by the Saigon Heat, their interior defense has been outstanding. They've only given up 30 first-half points. They just got lucky there with a loose ball.
Here's the bounce. Oh, D'Angelo met up top by John Fields.
And Hamilton must have heard me earlier when I told him just to go and power it up.
Yeah. Oh, Two players getting tangled up here, Alexander and Trayvon Hughes. But it will not escalate.
It's just two competitors battling in the heat of the moment. I'm sure they're not making dinner plans after, but
that's a hard foul given up by Trayvon Hughes. Good playoff foul there.
And Hughes puts his hands up like, what did I do? What did I do? And then maybe he walked over to Alexander and said, coffee on me.
Probably right after.
He said, I'll tell you what, if we match up with the playoffs, the loser buys dinner.
This is Alexander at the free throw line. Now he will be key in the playoff run this year for the Singapore Slingers. He's got a lot of experience under his belt. Congratulations, by the way, to him for entering that exclusive 2K points club here in the ABL. Only him and Justin Howard has reached that feat.
Yeah, it's quite a tremendous feat. You know, if you look at the record list, the top 10 lists in the ABL, you're going to see Xavier Alexander on a lot of those statistical numbers.
Corey Celia, another three-pointer. That was a bit too strong. Here comes Jun Lim. Oh, losing that one. Celia on the heave. Celia knocks it down at the buzzer.
Big shot, Celia. The corner sniper with the last second bucket.
And listen to this crowd. Corey Celia with a buzzer beater to extend the lead again. Take a look at that play. He got the steal on Jun Lim, got it at half court, stopped, hop, and got it to drop. Corey Celia extending the lead of the Saigon Heat to 8 points. So nice, we got to see it twice here inside the CIS Arena. 39-31 is the count at the half. Saigon Heat on top here at home. Back to our coverage here and some numbers for you guys after the first half. And the biggest difference here, Coach Kevin, turnovers for the Singapore Slingers, 14 turnovers translating to 9 points off turnovers for the Saigon Heat. Yeah, this is the main weapon for Saigon tonight in this matchup. This is the one they used to get that lead, the one they used to restore that lead in the latter part of that second quarter.
I have a lot of thoughts here at halftime, partner. We only got about a minute to talk about it. You know, turnovers, you said it, 14-3. Credit the Saigon Heat for only 3 turnovers and sensational defense in forcing 14 turnovers. But on the flip side, this is an 8-point game with that last second 3 by Corey Cilia. That 11 turnover difference could be a lot worse. So both teams got to be feeling pretty good. The Heat about their defense, and the Slingers, you know, saying we threw the ball away 14 times, we're only down 8. And the second part of that is, we talked about the Slingers being an up-tempo team this year. They've been pushing pace. We're looking at the old Slingers here, moving the ball around the perimeter, looking to go inside out. Every possession in that first half, they're trying to throw the ball on the fields where they feel they have a mismatch. So we're seeing kind of the old school Slingers that we've seen in recent years go back to where they were before.
And so far, that hasn't been to their advantage in this matchup because they're down by 8 points. They're struggling with that ball movement. Of course, credit also the defense of the Saigon Heat for staying at home in almost all of the possessions in the first half. And those turnovers allowing Saigon Heat to take 12 more shots in the first half. And Saigon in control here by 8 points, 39-31. Trayvon Hughes, look at the numbers here. Offensively, defensively, he's been working hard here for the Heat.
He sure has. It's been a team effort for the Heat. Team defense, team scoring, getting contributions from everybody that's played. Corey Cilia with 6 points, Trayvon Hughes with 6 points. Hamilton, their leading scorer, he has 9. So they're getting it from everybody.
Quatran, as we start the third quarter here, opens it up with an air ball. Singapore with a chance to come back during this third quarter, down by 39-31. Alexander, he's got Barone on him. They go to Jeremiah, who had to exit with 3 personal fouls in the second quarter. Back rims that shot, and the rebound goes to Barone.
There's that battle between Hughes and Alexander. Both guys go flying a little bit.
Has been chippy with these two guys ever since the first quarter. Turker doesn't make the free. Quatran gets it back for Saigon. They go to Hamilton here, who will attack and kick it out to Trayvon Hughes. Hamilton, the extra pass, Quatran for 3, a bit too strong. Desmond hustles for that rebound, and that's a foul on Quatran.
Good job by the Saigon Heat of generating. They didn't get a great shot by Durker, but they hustled, got a second chance opportunity, and Quatran got a good look, just didn't knock it down.
Saigon Heat now 5 out of 21 from 3-point range. And this is the Singapore Slingers again on the attack. Desmond. They go to Alexander here, who's got the taller Hamilton on him. Safer. Looking for Fields on the repost. They kick it out to Young. Young forcing it. Oh, throws the ball away. Here comes Hughes. Trayvon is on the move. And that's an offensive foul called against Trayvon Hughes. They called it on the bump.
We had a lot of action here. On the other end, Young runs over Quatran, and then Hughes comes back, and he does extend the arm. That's kind of a bang-bang play, but he did have the arm extended, and being the veteran defensive player, he maybe sold one there.
So a minute and a half gone. Nobody has scored here in the third quarter. The X-Man on top. Then challenged to shoot that free. He's covered here by Barone. High-low, John Fields with a catch. And it goes out. Another turnover here for the Singapore Slingers.
Yeah, again, great post defense. Hamilton does a great job of fronting. They throw that over the top pass. And great help on the weak side from Trayvon Hughes. Knocking it off, looked like the chin of John Fields.
Hughes bumps into Turker. The kick out to Trayvon Hughes again. Shoots over Desmond. Hits the front of the rim. Alexander here, bringing it downhill for the Red Shirts. Alexander had to adjust, but fouled in the process.
And in the first, 2 minutes and change, there's a lid on both these rims. The team's getting good looks, but you look at that. Yeah, Durker got caught with his hand in there. He's in good position and just got caught with his hand inside. And a veteran guy like Alexander is going to know how to initiate contact and get himself to the free throw line. And his team's looking for tough points right now.
Only the first foul for Chris Durker. Alexander so far 7 points and 6 rebounds, no assists so far for the X-Man. That's strange.
No assists. And, part of that no assists, I talk about assists all the time. It's an overrated statistic. They're throwing the ball inside. They're not using Alexander as a playmaker, running screens and getting early offense. So he's not going to get a lot of assists when you're dumping the ball inside and playing off, inside out.
Durker. They go to Baron, back outside to Chris, who fires it up and puts that one in. Chris Durker with a three-pointer.
Chris Durker, the three-point shooting specialist now for the Saigon Heat. Second three-pointer of the game.
Knocked down 2 in this one. Heat is back to 9. John Fields off the spin. Fields high off the glass, no go. And Hamilton getting into Quatron, quickly the other way. Saigon. Hughes with a cross to the corner. Quatron for 3, too strong. And that's Young with the rebound. Ahead to Alexander. The bounce to Fields. Tried to serve up the facial there, could not do it. And Delvin Go will give up the foul.
Let's take a look at that block again by Hamilton. AKA the block machine.
Wow, great denial there by D'Angelo Hamilton.
You see some blocks where the ball's in the air, and the bigs like Ramos and Balkan, they can just go and swat it. But to meet a guy at the rim and essentially palm the ball, that's professional shot blocking right there at its finest. That's a sensational play, and that's probably one that will make the highlights.
And the 7'1" wingspan of D'Angelo Hamilton in full display there. Oh, Hamilton getting fouled on the second attempt. So he's done a great job on both ends off the floor at the beginning of this third frame.
Yeah, you good defense and plays like that, game-changing blocks that can energize you on the other end of the floor. You missed a bunny. Barone with the second chance, keeping it alive, and Hamilton gets the free throw line to extend this lead.
And that's a second foul on John Fields. Hamilton creates a double-digit advantage here for the Saigon Heat. The count is 43-33. It was as high as 12 points earlier. I believe we ended the first quarter at 27-15. And he makes it 11.
Now we're at 11 here again. And, they've done a good job of keeping Fields off the glass. We talked about that as one of the keys of the game as well. And that's a big reason why they have an 11-point lead.
Singapore in a bit of a hole here against the Saigon Heat. Desmono attacks, missing on the layup. And it's going to be Saigon Heat basketball. Substitution for Coach Kyle. Coricilia will replace Trayvon on the floor.
See Quatron run the point now, and the sniper with his 2 first-half threes to come into the game to see if he's still hot.
So Saigon will have the backcourt of Coricilia and Quatron with deflection by Jaron Young there.
Yeah, Durker's got to realize that he doesn't have numbers on that strong side there. He's got Hamilton in the post and Celia in the corner. There's nowhere for him to drive. Just move the ball around the perimeter against the zone and try to find the gaps with the pass.
Quatron penetrating. Couldn't finish with the offhand. Here comes Alexander. Leading the break. Alexander challenged by Barone. Here's Delvin getting the ball back for Singapore. No easy chances for the Singapore Slingers here, even in transition.
Nothing easy, but a great hustle there by Go. You see what an athlete he is.
Oh, again. Delvin Go hustling for that offensive board. It goes out. Ball will stay with the red shirts. And Justin Young looking to check in. He will replace Quatron. Larry Liu on the other side will replace the veteran Desmono.
Good move there by Coach Julius getting Quatron out of the game. You know, he's had some good looks. They're not going down. Just sit him down, let him catch his breath, think about it for a second, and let him go in with a fresh start.
Coach Scott continues to mix it up here. Angelo Hamilton replaced by Hughes. Good deflection by Young. It is Fields on the breakaway jam.
Saigon Heat had a chance for transition there, and good job by Young. Maybe that'll get him going. You know, we haven't heard a lot from Jaron Young here today, and that steal might get him going.
Celia back outside. Barone fumbles with it. Trayvon with 8 seconds to work with. He's got Liu on him. Hughes back to Celia outside. Celia with a floater. It's good.
Beautiful shot by Celia. You know, he knocked down those couple of threes, and so he's got guys running at him, and he hits that little push teardrop floater in the lane. That's a big shot for him.
Celia showing another dimension to his game against the Singapore Slingers. Heat back up to 11. Timeout here on the floor. Singapore will have possession after this break. Lead for the Saigon Heat. Halfway done here in the third quarter, and the Singapore Slingers having a difficult time in getting through that Saigon defense, and it continues here in the second half. Coach Kevin, no easy shots for the Singapore Slingers, and they've also committed a lot of turnovers.
Yeah, it's been, you know, playoff type defense by the Saigon Heat, holding the Slingers just to 35 points and doing a great job of walling up inside. Fields still has 13 points and 15 rebounds, but he's had to work for everything this game.
Here's Jaron Young, who hasn't gotten his rhythm here merely because of foul trouble. He's got Hughes on him, high off the glass and in for Young.
Excellent individual move by Young. And I mentioned a little bit ago that steal that he got that led to that Fields dunk. Sometimes that's all you need to get going when you're struggling.
So that cuts the lead to 9. Trayvon goes back out to Celia. Celia. Hughes fires. Hughes drops it in. Wow.
Big shot there by Hughes. He's been struggling shooting the three, but he shoots with confidence there, and that's exactly what he needs to do.
And Jaron Young quickly on the other side, drawing the foul against the Saigon Heat.
And for Saigon Heat, you can't rest up 12. There's still 4 minutes of change here in the third quarter. And Singapore is very capable of making a run. We've seen them do it all year. Both teams, they'll get down double digits second half, make runs, and they got to continue to get back on defense and stay disciplined.
They actually did it in the second quarter, down 12 after the first, cut into 3 midway through the second. Saigon was just able to recover in this one as Fields jumps it home again. It is cut to 10 once more. Yeah,
that's a defensive mistake there. The double can't come from Barone, or if he doubles, he's got to come stronger and not make that pass so easy to Fields. So either they have to double from the weak side and keep Barone home on Fields, or Fields has to double with more effort.
Big corner triple there by Quatran. Oh, they call it a 2-pointer here. Or a 3-pointer, yes. It is 13. Liu taps it back out. They've got Fields on another jam.
Fields just getting dunk after dunk. And, he's keeping the Slingers in it, but he's really the only one. Xavier Alexander's never quiet. Yeah. He does a lot of things, but Fields is doing a good job of keeping his team in it.
Celia open from the corner. Will not work. Young tracks the ball down and gets it to Hughes. Trayvon, Celia, the bounce to Barone. Barone bothered. Barone could not put it in. And this is Jaron Young on the move. Jaron, the kick out, the three-point specialist. Ang Han Bin, wide open look for three.
I expected a timeout there from Coach Julius. His team missed an easy one there on the other end, and a big shot by Ang Han Bin.
That will lead to 8. And out on the floor here inside the CIS Arena. .44 is the count, and we've got 2:42 remaining here in the third quarter. Both teams have scored 13 points here in the third frame, and Saigon doing a great job in maintaining the cushion here, showing us a bit of that composure they were working on all throughout the week, Coach Kevin.
Yeah, good time out there again by Coach Julius. Doesn't want to let this lead get away from him. He senses that the Slingers are capable of making a run, getting those 5 quick points. A couple of things to look out for here. Trayvon Hughes has 3 fouls, so does Justin Young. And on the other end, Jaron Young's been milking those 3 fouls since 7 minutes to go in the second quarter.
Action continues. That's a miss for D'Angelo Hamilton. Here comes Young. Young, eluding 2 defenders on his way to the basket.
Yep. Yeah, I'm going to sound like a broken record, but ever since that steal, you see a little pep in the step of this athlete here and Jaron Young.
And he cuts the lead down to 6. Hamilton, back out, hand in his face. Hughes misses. Larry Liu starting the break for the Slingers. He runs into a double. And the pace will slow down here for the Slingers. Alexander driving. Alexander carving space, drawing the foul on Kyle Barone in the process.
Yeah, Barone had good position. Looked like he had his hand on top of the ball, but perhaps the referee saw it differently. Xavier Alexander's a veteran in this league, and you're on the ABL and you're a good guy, you're going to get some calls your way.
And Singapore Slingers really just chipping away here in this ball game. Lead is down to 6, and Alexander will have 2 freebies here at the free throw line. 2 assists here in the third quarter for Alexander.
I think that's the theme of this team all year, the Slingers. They continue to chip away. They'll hit you with big runs. They can play all kinds of different styles. They can play fast, high octane, good ball movement, or they can grind it out with defensive stops and inside out play. And that versatility, makes them a challenging opponent come playoff time.
And that's why 3 or 4 years now they've been perennial contenders here in the ABL. The kick out, Celia. Seeing the opening, goes to Hughes. Baseline move, around the world on the reverse for Trayvon Hughes.
Yeah, good look off there by Hughes.
And Hamilton gets the steal and the finish. 4-point swing for the Saigon Heat.
Yeah, big points there. Turn the tables the other way as we approach the end of the third quarter. Now an 8-point lead for the Heat.
After that big or quick comeback by the Singapore Slingers. Counter run by Saigon. Liu open from the baseline. Soft touch will not work.
There he loses got to know he's a three-point shooter, right? A mid-range shot. He's 4 or 5 last game. Stay in the corner and space that out.
And that's a foul on the trip called against Ang Han Bin.
So that's okay. Only 2 team fouls, that being the third. 47 seconds left in the third quarter, so a meaningless foul. And I'll give Han Bin the credit that he knew what he was doing.
Hamilton on the step back. Hamilton a bit too strong. That had a good line though. Alexander is on the move, bumps into Hamilton. A lot of contact, but no foul called. Saigon goes the other way. Hamilton behind the back dribble. Almost stolen away. Celia back outside. Quatran doesn't take it. Here is the kick out to Hughes. They have 11 seconds to work with. About 8 seconds difference between the clocks. Hughes against Liu. 4 seconds to shoot. Hughes, Quatran for 3. Quatran knocks it down. There's a quick play for the Singapore Slingers. The X-Man taking it right back on the other end. But back and forth action between these 2 teams to end the third quarter. The Saigon Heat still prevailing, still holding on to this 9-point advantage, 59-50 going into our final frame. We welcome you back to the coverage here inside the Canadian International School Arena here in Ho Chi Minh City, Vietnam. This is your ABL 9 Rise to Greatness, continuing the action on this game between the Saigon Heat and the Singapore Slingers. You guys have Martin Avieri, Coach Kevin Yurkus breaking this game down, and it is a 9-point lead for the Saigon Heat. Coach Kevin, it has been a game of France. That was the story in our third quarter. Saigon was able to extend the lead up to 13. Singapore fighting back, and then the last, or the latter part of that third period, Saigon Heat mustering up another run.
That's right. And you know, this game, it's a 9-point game, but we're essentially separated by a 30-foot three-pointer from Corey Celia at end of half, and that big bucket by Quatran, the other 3 to end the third quarter. Otherwise, we're looking at a 1-point game here.
Yeah.
So Singapore Slingers, 18-6, they're getting beat in the turnover margin. That's 21 points off turnovers for Saigon Heat, and that's the difference in the game.
That's a bit too much for Singapore. Committing 4 in the third quarter alone. That's a foul on Jaron Young.
Yeah, and I think that's his 4th foul, and I think that's a mistake. You can't put Young on Hamilton. Alexander has no fouls. He's bigger than Young. There's no need for him to be guarding Hamilton in the post. Hamilton's got 40 pounds on him and 4 or 5 inches of height. So why risk getting your 4th foul there? I mean, ultimately the players play, but the coaches have to be able to recognize, not to put a player who's in foul trouble to guard the post when you can bury fouls with other guys.
So let's see if Coach Neo will go for the gamble here. Young with a 4th personal foul. About 9 minutes left here in the 4th frame. He will stay on the floor. 2 misses on the line for D'Angelo Hamilton. Oh. Alexander losing it and tripped on his way to the hoop there.
Yeah, the Heat have been very disciplined on those basket attacks, those dribble attacks by Xavier Alexander, who's normally gets to the line a lot, but they're backpedaling, they're showing their hands, they're not bumping them, and they're forcing Alexander to take tough, off-balance shots. And, you know, they're able to frustrate him at the rim.
Quatran, Hamilton, Hughes for 3. Hughes backs it in. Trayvon extends the lead again to 10.
Is the backboard getting an assist on that one? That's a team assist, right, off the glass.
Good patient offense ran by the Saigon Heat. Jaron Young. They go to Fields. Fields on the turn. Two-handed hammer again for Fields.
Well, this is something that the Slingers do. You know, I've been mildly critical. You know, they play a lot of isolation, one-on-one. They don't run a lot of movement in sets, but they've got good enough players where they're able to make plays.
And this is going to be a foul on John Fields. Fields number 5 called for the personal. That's going to be number 3 on him.
Looks like a double foul there.
And Fields doesn't like it.
That's just 2 big guys arm wrestling in the paint, and no harm, no foul. You know, you get a double foul when guys start getting hit, pushed. Not a couple of guys arm wrestling up high.
Here's Trayvon Hughes. He had a big 3-pointer earlier. Goes to Calderon here at the post. Jaron Young guarding him. Oh, Quatran with a good cut, but could not finish on the reverse.
Yeah, good recognition though by the Heat. They saw Young on Barone. They tried to go at him at the post.
Oh, Larry Liu open, and he drops it in from the corner.
He must have heard me. I told him stay in that corner. Stop jumping in the short corner. And that's a big bucket now, a 5-point game.
That's the first triple of the game for Larry Liu. And we've got a 2-possession game. Hamilton tries to extend it. Back rims that one. And Fields getting the board there. Liu. Got Quatran on him. John Fields will put it on the floor. Attacking the defense off Barone and somehow puts it in.
Wow. It is Singapore Slingers team not playing their best basketball, but here they are down only 3 with a lot of time left here in the 4th quarter.
62-59. Saigon Heat still ahead, but lead has been trimmed, as you mentioned, the 3 points. Backdoor ball game here. John Fields, monster numbers in this one. 21 points and 16 boards. Big double-double for the big guy. Has been an own bright spot on the offensive end for the Singapore Slingers. But on the other side, this is a dangerous position for the Saigon Heat. They've seen this kind of situation a lot of times this season. Losing a big lead in close ball games, Coach Kevin.
Yeah, well, it's these 2 teams. I know the Slingers have won the first 3 battles, but these 2 teams are somewhat of a mirror of each other in terms of how they continue to fight. And, you know, Saigon Heat punches, the Slingers punch back, and we've seen that all game.
Right. Let's see if the fight back is here for the Saigon Heat. Calderon sandwiched on his way to the basket. Alexander is on the move, throws the ball away to Hamilton.
That's a big mistake by Fields. He's got to sprint to the rim.
And Barone with an easy finish.
Yeah, Alexander's driving hard down the middle, and Fields is jogging. Look, he's out of gas. If he sprints to the rim, it's an easy 2 points in a 1-point game. It's a 4-point swing. It's a mental error by Fields.
And they got a foul here against the Saigon Heat. Quatran called for it. Delvin Ko.
Yeah, and that's why he's tired.
Yeah.
And when you're tired, it's hard. And he's fast-paced. You know, he's dunking a lot. He's jumping, using his legs. He's a big guy. He needs a rest.
He's out to guard that front line of Calderon and D'Angelo Hamilton. The X-Man dropping in a big three-pointer, and that cuts it to 2.
I mean, he just never ceases to impress. You know, you say he's not a shooter, he knocks down a couple of threes. They say he's got no handles, you know, he's top 3 in the league in assists. He just, you know, he does a lot of things, make winning plays, and he's just a dog. He's a high-character guy.
Right. Oh, but Calderon, under difficult shot, able to bank that one in.
That could have been number 5 on Young. He got in out under him, but nevertheless, good shot.
Close call there. Hamilton rips out the steal. 3-on-1 break. Hughes chooses Durker. Durker doesn't finish with the left hand. But Hughes gets it back up. Trayvon, floater, the lob, and whoop. Let's see who's gonna. Was this one gonna be on?
Let's see here. Alexander, I think.
I think it's Xavier Alexander.
Wasn't a long rest for John Fields. Desmond O will come back into the game as well. This looks like the stretch run here for the Slingers.
So a couple of substitutions for coach Neo Beng Shang. Desmond O also entering the ball game.
I said that last transition 3-on-1 by the Heat, you know, was poorly executed. Hughes gets too low. On a 3-on-1, I'd like to see the ball advance to the side. Ooh.
Hamilton tried to stuff it in. But that was a good inbound play executed by the Saigon Heat. With D'Angelo escaping right here, all alone underneath.
And that's the 4th foul on Fields. If he gets another one, he's going to get all the rest he wants.
4 fouls on Fields and Zeron Young. That's the situation now for the Slingers.
Yeah, you might see the Slingers go to a zone to try to protect their 2 imports.
Hamilton, 2 for 2. 2-possession game still, but it is a 6-point game.
Still a lot of time left, a lot of possessions both ways.
Young attacking, floater. That was a bit too strong, and ball will go to the Black Shirts.
Now, there's 5 and change to go. And you know, I know Young's a great athlete. Yeah. 6-point game, your team had a chance to get it to 1, maybe tie the game. And that's 1 on 4. Okay? I mean, that's not going to get it done. You know, set something up, run a play, run a couple of passes, and be patient. And you got John Fields into the game. He's had a mismatch inside. Even Young's had some mismatch inside. But don't put up that going to your left 1-on-4 floater.
Right. And Young has gone 4 out of 9 here from the field. Only 8 points in the ball game. Barone backing down, double team. The kick out to Celia. Horry back to Barone for 3. That's from straight away. No go. Fields gets it back. Here come the Slingers.
Yeah. Get out of the way, O.
Desmond, the fake, goes to the repost. They got the mismatch there, but Alexander doesn't take advantage. There's Ong Han Bin, 8 seconds to work with. Now 5 seconds to shoot for Singapore. John Fields, quick bounce. Off on the shot.
He got in deep there, just couldn't finish, and you know, circle that possession.
Oh, good anticipation there by Xavier Alexander. Caught Trayvon Hughes on the spin.
And an unnecessary foul by Hughes. You know, again, this is one of those days, I'm a broken record, right? I say all these things over and over all season. You make a bad play on one end of the floor, don't compound it by getting your 4th foul. You're too valuable for your team. You can't pick up your 4th foul in that situation. You're still up 6 and you turn the ball over. The game's not over.
foul trouble situation here for the Saigon Heat. Hughes gets it back for them. Let's see if they can capitalize in this possession. Hamilton on the spin cycle. Oh, Hamilton, the up and under is good.
It's great recognition by Hamilton. He knows that Fields has those 4 fouls. And what does a smart player do? He goes right at the guy and forces him to make a play.
Timeout on the floor. 8-point lead for the home squad. Back to our ball game here. 4 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter. And these two teams have been countering each other all throughout the game. Singapore Slingers were able to cut it to a 1-possession game earlier, but again, the fight back, the punch back is right there for the Saigon Heat. Able to maintain the pace and able to play patient defense and offense here in at least the last couple of plays for them.
Yeah, and let's see, they're up 8 with 4 to go. They've been like this a couple of times in the last 3 games. And let's see if they've learned from these last few games and if they can close this game out.
That's yet another turnover on the Singapore Slingers here. They have committed 22 turnovers here, Coach Kevin.
And that's their first one here in the 4th quarter, but that's a timely turnover, down 8 with under 4 to go.
They go to Barone. Got the smaller Alexander on him. Calderon will take advantage. The up fake, the basket for Barone.
Alexander trying to bait him into a foul in transition. That's a big bucket, 10-point game now, 3 to go.
Double figure advantage here for the Saigon Heat. Alexander Fields with a cleanup job. Much needed for the Singapore Slingers, but they cannot afford to trade baskets with the Heat.
Yeah, they're going to have to get consecutive stops. You know, they're not a great 3-point shooting team, the Slingers. You know, Han Ben and Young, those guys can shoot threes, of course, but they're going to have to get stops.
Calderon, he's got Delvin go on him. Fields with a board, an opportunity for an uprising for the Singapore Slingers, but that will put to waste as Jaron Young commits the turnover.
Yeah, Young got ahead of himself there, and yeah, that's okay. You know, he's got Durker on him. Durker's backpedaling hard to try to protect the rim. He had him, he just, you know, over-dribbled and lost it out of bounds.
72-64. Larry Liu looking to check in, replacing Ang Han Bin.
And there's the shooter we talked about. Coach Neo sensing that we need someone to stretch the floor. You know, you get 1 stop and a 3. 5-point game with a couple minutes to go. You know, anything can happen.
Trayvon Hughes against Jaron Young on top. Celia. Hamilton backing down. D'Angelo. Oh, the high looper works for D'Angelo Hamilton.
Sometimes I don't think Hamilton understands how good he is at the paint.
Very good today. Put back jam will not work. Ball will stay with the Slingers with 17 seconds on the clock.
Excellent move. Good patient move there by Hamilton. Fields again, he can't be aggressive. He's got 4 fouls.
And a good follow-up to that 27-point outing for D'Angelo Hamilton. He's got 21. With 2 minutes remaining in this contest, Jaron Young will be fouled by Durker.
Yeah. And he got in the space again there. Sonny Durker's second foul. Both teams in the bonus the rest of the way.
Let's see if Jaron Young can take advantage here. This is his first trip at the free throw line.
I think the Slingers can get a little creative here. Hughes is your primary ball handler. He's got 4 fouls. Put a little pressure, get into his body, see if you can get him for another push-off. It's a 10-point game. A chance to cut it to about 9. You got nothing to lose. Put some pressure on him, see if you can get a quick turnover. At this point, you know, the possessions, you start doing the math of possessions. Right. You're greatly against you, and we'll see if the Slingers put some pressure.
Young missing on the first free throw. Pressure-packed free throw coming up. Young gets it, and he trims the lead down to single digits here. 9-point lead for the Saigon Heat. Quatran will go back on the floor, replacing Chris Durker.
Yeah, that's an excellent move by Coach Julius. He must have heard me there. Getting another ball handler in there.
Yeah. The ball pressure being applied now by the Singapore Slingers. Hughes. That's an easy break for the Saigon Heat. Here's the kick out. Celia wisely taking it out. Time is on their side here.
Yeah, in no hurry here. Use as much of that shot clock as you can.
Hughes off the penetration. Quatran almost falling down there. Air ball stop floater. Here is Alexander. 2-on-1 break. Oh, denied! That's Hamilton with a denial, but the cleanup job by John Fields.
Wow, sensational block. He's had a few of those tonight, but getting Alexander at the apex, wow.
7-point game. 1.5 minutes left. Hughes. Oh, he's got Delphin now on the switch. Hamilton goes inside. Barone with a big basket.
Yeah, 1 on the shot clock. That's a huge bucket and great execution by the Heat.
That stretches the lead back up to 9, 76 to 67 for the Saigon Heat. Look at the rejection here by D'Angelo Hamilton. The second one of a dunk attempt by a Slinger. But John Fields able to clean it up with a jam. Timeout on the floor here. 1:50 remaining in the contest. Back into the action here, and it is a 9-point lead for the Saigon Heat. About 75 seconds remaining here in the game, and it looks like the shift on the world imports for Saigon has paid off so far. The shift from Murphy Bernatowski to D'Angelo Hamilton has been productive in at least the last couple of games here for Saigon. Coach Kevin.
Yeah, you know, this isn't about Murphy Bernatowski not playing at a high level. He's definitely playing at a high level. An ABL player, sensational shooter, good defender. But you know, Saigon Heat just looked, you know, what's their best chance to win in the playoffs? How can we win? They needed to be more defensive-minded, and you see what Hamilton gives them. He gives them a rim presence. Right. You know, he's had some sensational blocks today, and that's something they felt like was a winning formula going into the playoffs.
He's got 21 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 denials, 4 blocks for D'Angelo Hamilton today. Trayvon on the blow-by. The lob to Barone inside. This is a 7-point lead, and the shot clock will expire on the Saigon Heat there.
Yeah, Coach Kyle's looking at Trayvon Hughes and telling him, you got to take that shot. He got inside the free throw line there, and nobody stepped up. He's got a nice little easy 10-12-foot floater.
And that's a stop, and the timeout right after. Coach Nino Benson calling it. Back into the action, and that's such a mood today here inside the CIS Arena. Saigon Heat are 43.4 seconds away from breaking their 3-game losing skid here in the ABL 9.
It's like your dance moves last night in Louis Vienne Street down in District 1.
I have no memory of that taking place.
Cannot recall. I cannot recall. Yeah, excellent possession there. You know, they took the shot clock all the way down.
And they force a stop here. They get the stop on the other end. And it looks like Saigon will snap the losing streak. No breakdown today for Coach Cao's team.
And what it was, it's been the mission this whole game. It's been on the defensive end. Walling up inside the paint, not giving easy inside the restricted area baskets, and then rim protection. We've seen sensational rim protection from Hamilton. And, you know, that takes its toll over a game, and you know, Saigon Heat are in a great chance to close this one out and get a much-needed victory heading into the playoffs.
And we were mentioning earlier, at least you mentioned earlier, that we've been noticing this playoff mentality, playoff intensity, especially on the defensive end for the Saigon Heat. That's going to be key here for them from this point forward.
No question. You know, people asked me today, you know, they're down because the Saigon Heat have lost 3 tough games, and I said, you know, I think they're going to win today. Not making predictions and not rooting for one team or the other, but, you know, just when you think a team is down.
Yeah. And they get the steal there, Trayvon Hughes. Half minute remaining. Hughes will be fouled in the half-court area. Some free throws here for the leader of the Saigon Heat, Trayvon Hughes.
And this is the formula here headed into the playoffs for the Saigon Heat. It's good team play, getting contributions from everybody in the lineup. You saw Corey Cilia hit key baskets today. Quatron got him going early. You saw Hamilton on both ends of the floor. You know, Barone, the instant double-double, and then, of course, the leader, Trayvon Hughes. This has been a team effort, and that's what we're going to see the rest of the year. This last regular season game next Sunday against San Miguel Alab, and then
that's going to be exciting. That's next week, March 24, at the last game of the elimination round. Trayvon Hughes getting it back on the missed free throw, and the Saigon Heat will look to dribble this one out. Instead, they called the foul here against the Singapore Slingers. 20.9 seconds remaining.
Trayvon Hughes with a chance to add to his point total. If you're an import playing overseas, these kind of points can help you for your next opportunity.
Right, that's true. 16 points so far for Trayvon. But he has missed the last 3 free throws to go along with 6 rebounds and 3 assists and 6 steals. That's 6 takeaways today for Trayvon.
Yeah, you look at the defensive end, it's the 6 steals by Hughes and the 4, maybe 5 blocks by Hamilton, but just the nature of those blocks, game-changing to be able to deny guys at the rim. You know, that changes a game.
Look at him here, still defending Alexander. Chris Durker, one-handed rebound. 12 seconds away are the Saigon Heat from breaking their losing streak. Instead, this is Jaron Young giving up the foul at midcourt. That will be it for Jaron.
Again, excellent perimeter defense. Saigon Heat not giving up anything here in the final minutes of this, final minute or so of this game.
And Jaron Young Coach Kevin, this is, or what the way he's played here is very similar to the way he played in their first meeting here in the CIS arena. Also got into foul trouble early and never got into his rhythm.
Yeah, you know, and we watched some of his plays there, and little reach-ins and going after second chance and slapping away, and you got to be smarter than that, especially come playoff time. You know, every single mistake is magnified in the postseason because there is no tomorrow.
Right.
And so I think the Slingers will go back, they'll watch this film, and they'll really, you know, they'll do what the Saigon Heat has done, and they'll try to really prepare these next 2 games to play mistake-free basketball.
And there you have it. This night belongs to the Saigon Heat as they take this victory over the Singapore Slingers, 81-69. They get back on the winning track, and they snap their 3-game losing streak. They will go up to 13-12 here in season number 9, Coach Kevin.
Yeah, excellent win by the Saigon Heat. Just when people thought that they were down after losing the last 3 games, tough losses on the road, they come home after losing the first 3 to Singapore this year, and they get a great home victory, a great team victory, and a little momentum with 1 week's rest heading into the final game of the regular season.
And showing that composure all throughout the game, Coach Kevin never broke down. We saw the runs from the Singapore Slingers, but the Saigon Heat kept countering and kept countering bigger or in bigger stretches for them all throughout the game.
Like we said, you know, these 2 teams play with a lot of toughness and grit. One team punches, the other team punches back. But today, the boxing match was won by the Saigon Heat with nearly a knockout.
So the Singapore Slingers will crash to 14-10. And we got to commend, of course, the top performers for the Saigon Heat today. D'Angelo Hamilton with 21 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 4 blocks, and 3 steals. Might I add, Coach Kevin, back-to-back games, back-to-back excellent performances for D'Angelo Hamilton.
That's no surprise when you're a player that focuses on the defensive end. You know, defense never sleeps. You know, your offense is going to come and go. You know, shots are going to come in, and some days you're going to have them, some days you're not. But defense is something that never goes away. Effort, energy, enthusiasm. That's just being a basketball player. That's something that Hamilton always brings to the table for his team.
And of course, the other guys supporting Hamilton today, Alvaron with 17 and 11, Avon Hughes with 19 points, and how about the local players as well? Quatran had 10 points, and Corey Celia off the bench scored 8, a couple of 3-pointers, and a big floater earlier for Corey Celia for a total of 8 points.
Yeah, and those 2 big threes at the end of the second quarter and the end of the third quarter for the local players in the Saigon Heat. And those, you know, as we prepare for the playoffs for ABL 9, those kind of plays are the difference in winning and losing. And, you know, credit the Saigon Heat for making the plays today and getting back on the winning side.
Coach Evan, always a pleasure to work with you here in Ho Chi Minh City. And that concludes our coverage here of this game between the Singapore Slingers and the Saigon Heat. Again, Saigon Heat victorious here at home, 81-69, and they will go up to 13-12 here in the season. That's been Martin Javier and Coach Kevin Yurkus at your service. See you guys next time here. More action here in your ASEAN Basketball League season number 9.
Như vậy là những nỗi thất vọng đã qua đi và chúng ta chào đón thêm một chiến thắng nữa trên sân nhà. Chào quý vị, như vậy là những nỗi thất vọng đã qua đi và thêm một chiến thắng nữa trở lại với Saigon Heat, đặc biệt là trên sân nhà CIS trước một đối thủ có được xem ra là đối thủ kỵ rờ của U10, đó là Singapore Slingers. Chúng ta giành được chiến thắng chung cuộc với tỷ số 81-69 trước đối thủ đến từ Singapore. Và giờ đây thì hãy cùng đến với những chia sẻ của người đã có một màn trình diễn xuất sắc trong ngày hôm nay, D'Angelo Hamilton. Hello, D'Angelo Hamilton. Congratulations for the great performance today. So how do you feel about the team performance and yourself?
You know, obviously after a win, it's easy to feel good, but it feels even better because, you know, we've been working through some things as a team, and we've been talking about putting 40 good minutes together. We thought we put 38, we thought we put 37, but today I felt like we put 40 minutes together. Obviously, we got to get back to the drawing board and work on a few things, but we're going to be happy about this one and carry the momentum into the playoffs.
So do you have anything to share with Heat fans today?
The only thing I got to say to the Heat fans is thank you so much for keep coming out. I love you so much. You give me energy, you give this team energy, you give this city energy, and you know, we're working for history. So keep coming to support us and keep bringing the heat.
Yeah, thank you for your sharing and congratulations again. Vừa rồi thì chúng ta đã đến với những chia sẻ của D'Angelo Hamilton, người đã nhận xét về màn trình diễn của bản thân và màn trình diễn của các đồng đội trong ngày hôm nay. Đó là một màn trình diễn rất đoàn kết. Đội bóng đã khắc chế được lối chơi cực kỳ khó chịu của đối thủ đến từ Singapore. Và để chia sẻ với các cổ động viên của Sao Huyết trong hôm nay thì anh D'Angelo Hamilton cho biết rằng anh gửi đến các cổ động viên những tình yêu to lớn của mình và hãy cùng tiếp tục cổ vũ Saigon Heat trong những chặng đường tiếp theo của ABL mùa giải năm nay. Và chúng ta hãy cùng đến với những chia sẻ của trợ lý huấn luyện viên ông David Singleton, người cũng đã có một phần công sức để góp vào chiến thắng trong ngày hôm nay cho câu lạc bộ Saigon Heat. Hello, Mr. David Singleton. So, how do you feel about the team performance today?
It was a great performance. Just like all of our last games, we play all the way well until 38 minutes, and then we don't play. And finally, this game we finished. So, the goal today and the key was to finish the game, and we finished.
So, do you have anything to share about the team celebration with the fan?
You know what? All year long, this organization has done so much for us. They supported us. The fans are the best fans in the ABL, and we've been letting them down. So we wanted to give back to them with a win tonight and show that we appreciate them so much.
So can you share something about the plans of the team in the playoff round?
You know what? We're going to go full head of steam. We want to win as many games as possible. We're going to be prepared as ever, and we're going to win a championship in the playoffs.
Yeah, thank you for your sharing and congratulations the team. Yeah. Vừa rồi thì chúng ta cũng đã nghe những chia sẻ của trợ lý huấn luyện viên David Singleton. Ông cho biết rằng ngày hôm nay thì đội bóng cũng đã thi đấu rất hiệu quả và tập trung đến những phút giây cuối cùng. 38 phút đầu tiên của trận đấu là 38 phút mà đội bóng đã chơi bằng tất cả những sự tập trung của mình. Và ở cuối trận đấu này thì chúng ta đã được thấy rằng huấn luyện viên Kai Julius cùng với đội bóng đã tràn lên các khán đài để ăn mừng với các cổ động viên. Đó là những phút giây đầy cảm xúc của câu lạc bộ Saigon Heat. Và huấn luyện viên David Singleton cũng đã cho biết rằng đó là sự đền đáp mà ông muốn cả đội Saigon Heat muốn dành cho các cổ động viên của họ, những người đã luôn đồng hành, luôn theo sát đội bóng này kể từ đầu mùa giải cho đến thời điểm này. Và chia sẻ một chút về kế hoạch trong playoff thì đội bóng vẫn sẽ thi đấu quyết liệt, tiến về phía trước cho dù đối thủ là ai đi chăng nữa. Vừa rồi cũng là những chia sẻ để khép lại thời lượng dành cho trận đấu giữa Saigon Heat và Singapore Slingers. Một chiến thắng rất nhiều cảm xúc, một chiến thắng để thắp lại thêm những hy vọng, thắp lại thêm những tinh thần cho Saigon Heat. Và cảm ơn sự quan tâm và theo dõi của quý vị và các bạn dành cho ABL mùa giải thứ 9 trên truyền hình FPT. Còn bây giờ thì thời lượng cho trận đấu cũng xin phép được khép lại. Xin chào và hẹn gặp lại trong những trận đấu tiếp theo.